In this video, I'm going to be taking you step by step on how to access the Do-It-Yourself Investor Toolkit and how to use the Do-It-Yourself Investor Toolkit. So let's go ahead and dig in. Now you can access all of my spreadsheets, including this one on tickerdata.com. First, you have to make an account, but after you've made an account and signed up for Ticker Data Premium, if you come up here and click on account, we'll click here, you can see down here at the bottom it says Premium Benefits. If I scroll down a little bit, you can see right here it says Go to Premium. This is where we can access our premium benefits. So if I click here, you can see we now have access to an entire library of different spreadsheets that are ready to use for Ticker Data Premium members. And the very first one that you'll see here is the Ticker Data Portfolio Tracker, also known as the Do-It-Yourself Investor Toolkit. So let's go ahead and click on it right here, and it's going to go ahead and take us to our spreadsheet. If we go ahead and click on the investment dashboard, I'll go ahead and zoom out. There's a few different things you'll notice. First off, lots of this data isn't automatically loading in, and we also don't have editing access to the spreadsheet. So the first thing we need to do in order to actually edit the spreadsheet is to make a copy. So if we come up here to File, you come down here, you can see if we click Make a Copy, click Make a Copy here, and now the spreadsheet is loading into my computer, and I have access to be able to edit the spreadsheet. We're going to come up here and click on Allow Access as well. So now if I go over to the investment dashboard and zoom out again, one of the things you're going to notice right now is it looks like the data isn't loading in. It's saying unknown function ticker data live. Now that's because we still have to sign in to our ticker data account from the spreadsheet. And this is very simple. We just come up here to extensions and you can see ticker data right here. Now, if you haven't downloaded Ticker Data yet, what you need to do is go to add-ons, click Get Add-ons, and download Ticker Data there. But once you've done that, you just go to Ticker Data and click Login, and it will automatically load you in based on your Google account. And you'll see this login sheet come up right here, and we're just going to click on Refresh and Return to Sheet. But in the background, you can see all this data is automatically starting to load in. So this is a great start. So it takes just a moment to load in all this data because there's a lot of data in this spreadsheet. But again, once it's loaded in, now you can see it's automatically refreshing once again, pulling the live data for all of this. Now give it just a moment, but again, you can see all this data is starting to load in. So we've got a great start. But okay, now we can see all of the data has automatically loaded in. Now this is just example data in our spreadsheet right now, so we still need to plug in our own data. And for example, we can see dividend data has automatically loaded in, dividend calendar has some metrics loaded in, and the daily dividend calendar. But again, we need to plug in our own metrics. So if I come over here to stocks, you can see a list of example data here. All I need to do is delete this data here, and you can see all these metrics now are going to disappear. Now what I need to do is list off the stock that I own, the amount of shares that I own, and the purchase price. So for example, let's say I bought Microsoft and I bought 10 shares at a purchase price of $300 a share. I'll hit enter and all of this data will automatically load in. If we go over to my investment dashboard, we can now see this is reflected in the investment dashboard. Let's go ahead and plug in a few more examples. We'll say I bought Coca-Cola stock. I bought 10 shares at a purchase price of $50 a share. And then let's say I bought Johnson & Johnson stock and I say I bought 20 shares at a purchase price of, let's say, maybe around $155 per share. I'll hit enter. And again, all this data automatically loads into our spreadsheet. So if we jump over to our investment dashboard, we can now see all of this data has automatically loaded in straight into our spreadsheet. And the same is true for our dividend dashboard. But here's something you may notice. Right now, it looks like our portfolio value tab over time and our historical monthly dividend income over time and projected annual dividend income still not showing up correct. Well, that's because we still have to plug in that data, and we have to plug in more data for the dividend calendar and the daily dividend calendar to automatically load in. Now for that data, what we need to do is jump over to the dividend/portfolio recording tab. You can see here we still have example data that we need to remove from our spreadsheet. So again, let's just go ahead and remove all this data here, and we'll go back up to the top and do the same here and do the same here. Now once I've removed this data, if we go back over to the daily dividend calendar, now you can see all of this is blank, and the same is true for our dividend calendar. All of this is blank, but we can see the three positions that we added: Microsoft, Coca-Cola, and Johnson & Johnson. If we look at our dividend dashboard, we can see these three charts aren't showing anything because we just deleted our example data. So the next thing we need to do is just plug in data as the months go by. So for example, let's say in the month of March, I'll plug in March 24 right here. Let's say I received a dividend from Johnson & Johnson, and we'll say that dividend payment was, just for example, maybe it was $20, and I received it on March 5th, 2024. I just plug in the date right there. So now I plugged in this data point, and if we go back over to my dividend calendar now, and start to scroll over, you can see right here, March 24th, you can see that $20 dividend payment from Johnson & Johnson. So again, it's pretty easy to use. And if we go over to the daily dividend calendar, we can see right here, that's where I received my $20 payment from Johnson & Johnson. So let's go ahead and plug in some more example data. I'll go ahead and jump forward just a couple seconds in the video so I have some example data plugged in. Okay, so now you can see I've plugged in some example data here. We have our projected annual dividend income, portfolio value, and dividend payment data. So if we jump over to our dividend dashboard, now you can see some of this data is starting to come together. We have our portfolio value over time, historical monthly dividend income, projected annual dividend income charted out as well. If we jump over to our dividend calendar and scroll over, you can now see the dividend payments I plugged in are reflected here, and the same is true for our daily dividend calendar. So that's a basic overview of how to use the spreadsheet. Now, of course, there are some other features. For example, you can plug in your crypto holdings over here. You can plug in your sold positions right here if you want that to be reflected in your investment dashboard. And then, of course, you can plug in your cost of living to use the live off dividends analysis. And of course, to do that, basically, you just have to plug in your variables into your portfolio projection. So for example, if I zoom in right here, let's say you have a starting portfolio size of $10,000. I'll plug that in, and you're making $1,000 monthly contributions. You can plug in some other assumptions here, but if we jump over to our live off dividends dashboard, you can see how long it will take you to be able to live off dividends. And you can also see right here, for example, let's say maybe 5 years from now, you can see right here, it looks like our account value based off our projections could be around 113,000, and we would have made 80,000 total contributions, and our monthly dividends would be sitting at about $327 every single month. So this is a pretty cool tool to see how far off you are from living off dividends and seeing what your portfolio could look like in the future. And of course, when you plug in those variables as well, if you jump over to the investment dashboard tab and scroll down, your future portfolio outlook will be updated as well. So this is a good way to get a quick glance at exactly what your portfolio could look like. And of course, you can toggle this between not reinvesting dividends and reinvesting dividends. So if I plug in reinvesting dividends, you can see this data will automatically update. So if we go ahead and zoom out, you can see just like that, we were able to plug in all of our own data into the Do-It-Yourself Investor Toolkit and start using it to analyze our very own portfolio and to start tracking all of our portfolio data. But there you go, that's how you can access and start using the Do-It-Yourself Investor Toolkit all for yourself. Of course, you can email help@tickerdata.com if you have any questions or any problems whatsoever. And of course, like always, if you'd like to get access to any of my spreadsheets and access to the Ticker Data add-on in Google Sheets, then you can head over to tickerdata.com at the link in the description. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.